Built on the banks of the broad Mandovi River, the quaint city of Panaji stands today as a reminiscent of its erstwhile Portuguese influence that is visible in the tangle of its narrow lanes. Even though the total population of Panaji is just over 1 lakh, but for every resident, there are 2.5 visitors. This has led to an enormous solid waste generation of almost 70 tons every day. The responsibility to manage this waste lies with the corporation of the City of Panaji, the world's smallest and one of Asia's oldest civic institutions. At the crack of dawn, the first ones to hit the streets are the corporation's staff, working together for a clean Panaji.
A city should have a vision. A vision to be zero waste. When I mean zero waste, it is not that no waste will be generated here, but we want to send less than 5% of our waste to a landfill. We were like any other city in India. We used to collect mixed waste from roadside bins, and we had a mountain of waste at our dump site. One fine day, there was a landslide, and this landslide was of our garbage dump. There was an uprising. The villagers didn't want us to dump anymore. That is the time Panjim said, enough is enough.
A large-scale protest by villagers led the CCP to put an end to open dumping and simultaneously launch a series of campaigns.
The first campaign was bin-free. So through this campaign, we drummed up support to remove all street bins. We removed almost 1,200 bins which were placed all over the city.
Cement bins were soon replaced with closed-hook trolley bins for door-to-door collection service. Modifications were made in the design of trucks to install hydraulic arms for easy transfer of waste with minimal manual intervention. The city of Panaji is divided into 30 administrative wards and 12 waste management zones. The door-to-door collection service was started in one ward and then replicated in the entire city. A solid waste management cell was set up, headed by the municipal commissioner. 2 engineers and 1 sanitary inspector, along with 35 field supervisors, ensure implementation of the SWM system in Panaji.
We had a segregation campaign. It was called Mission Chakachak. We went to colonies, to schools, to housing societies, to offices, to traders, to hotels. All stakeholders were pulled in.
Source segregation into wet and dry fractions is strictly enforced by CCP in all forms of residential and commercial establishments, from hotels, colonies and apartment complexes to even slums in Panaji. Colored bags and bins for various fractions are readily available in the local markets.
We have a set of bylaws which we have framed, quite strict bylaws, which are now pending government approval. The bylaws mandate compulsory segregation at source. Bylaws mandate payment for collection of waste. Bylaws mandate a huge penalty if segregation is not done at source.
Green and black bins are sold to residents and commercial establishments at subsidized rates. Wet waste is collected in green bags and composted, while the dry waste at the colony level is further sorted in 4 clear streams in designated color-coded bags: orange for plastics, pink for paper and cartons, black for glass and metal, and white for non-recyclables.
So we went each and every house to house, explained to them what is segregation, what is wet and dry waste segregation. And today at this stage, of all the residents are really segregating it at the initial level. This helps even the workers.
The waste collection vehicles are compartmentalized in different waste fractions, ensuring that the collection and transportation of waste is also carried out in a segregated manner. Almost 90% of domestic food waste from colonies and apartments is transferred and treated in decentralized compost stations. 65 local compost units, such as this, have been established across Panaji, mostly maintained by the workers of CCP. The corporation workers do rounds and manage the technical aspects like aerating and watering the compost.
For the 100 flats that we were composting, there is a volume of around 200 to 300 kg that comes in every day. And what you finally get down, as I said, is a tea powder compost.
Compost generated is mostly used for the gardening purposes of the housing complex or by residents.
When we decided to segregate our waste as well as composting, we knew our responsibilities towards society. So we all united. Come, this is our responsibility towards the society, the need of our. Nobody is being doing it, but as educated person, we have a responsibility, and then we set the ball rolling.
So I think that's a beautiful feeling of community coming together, of doing something together that's making a difference.
The municipal vegetable market has its own composting unit to treat the large quantities of organic waste generated here.
We have cut down on the transportation costs, as well as we have avoided waste being dumped. So the wet waste that gets generated in the city is as of now processed in these decentralized facilities.
Commercial establishments have to also segregate their wet waste. A branch of a large hotel chain in Panaji has come forward and taken a step further by installing its own organic waste converter or OWC unit, which is maintained by the hotel management.
The enforcement is the key. Yeah, there is resentment, there is resistance, but we have also indulged in training these establishments.
For individual households and commercial establishments which do not have their own processing solution, their wet waste is sent to the centralized bulk composting facility. Built on an area of 1,000 square meters, this unit treats almost 5 tons of organic waste on a daily basis. The compost generated here is either used for the city's municipal gardens or sold to farmers. It is mandatory for all commercial establishments to segregate their dry waste into 5 fractions as per the guidelines of the Corporation of the City of Panaji. At the residential level, dry waste is segregated in 4 fractions at the local sorting sheds. All segregated dry waste collected from commercial establishments and residential units is then brought to the Material Recovery Facility or MRF for final segregation, baling, storage and transportation. Mixed street waste is also brought to the MRF. A scientific yet frugal method of segregation has been adopted to give maximum material recovery by sorting the waste into 18 to 20 fractions. Panaji's large green canopy results in huge amounts of green waste. The leaf litter, along with heaps of coconut shells, are collected separately and crushed in a mulcher machine at the MRF and used as filler in the composting units. Hazardous waste like batteries is transported to a waste disposal facility outside Goa. Domestic biomedical waste is collected in yellow and blue bags. Once collected in sufficient volumes at the MRF, it is sent for incineration. There is absolutely no mixing of biomedical and municipal waste. Commercial establishments in Panaji have been assigned a number code, which is to be written on their waste bags. At the MRF, if a bag is found to contain mixed waste, the code helps identify the source, and the concerned establishment has to take it back and segregate it for collection the next day. After sifting through all the dry waste, the MRF is left with almost 10 to 15% of total waste as residual, non-recyclable waste. This is baled and sent to cement factories for co-processing every 4 to 5 days.
None of the activities as of now have been outsourced. It is in-house. We have trained our supervisors, we have trained our workers, as well as the entire waste management cell that has been set up by the corporation.
There is no facility in the country which does material recovery to the extent that we do. So we have in a way been pioneers and we have learnt on the job.
Today, 80% of Panaji's total solid waste gets recycled, reused, or composted. The goal is to make Panaji a landfill-free city.
We have achieved two things. One is we have not landfilled a single shred of non-recyclable for the past so many years, and we have replaced coal in the cement factories with our non-recyclable waste. So it is a huge environmental commitment that the city has done. You have to be constantly aware. You have to be constantly in touch with waste so that a new category of waste or a new size of waste or a new type of waste doesn't slip past without you noticing it.
Weekly auctions are held to sell any fraction of waste which has a recyclable value. This way, the corporation is able to recover a major portion of their expenditure via recycling.
करीब 25 लाख हर साल में हमको एक कचरे से हम उत्पन्न उसमें से निकालते हैं, और बाद में जो हमारा चार्जेस जो रहते हैं गार्बेज कलेक्शन के लिए वो मिनिमम है 1 रुपये पर डे. उसमें से हम करीब 2.5 करोड़ करीब हम उसमें से कलेक्ट करते हैं.
The amount collected funds various solid waste management activities of the corporation. The CCP has come a long way in proactively managing Panaji's solid waste, but it still has many plans ahead.
We are looking forward to a better facility. We need more space. We need better working conditions for our workers. We need larger sorting spaces. We need waste cleaning spaces. So we are working and designing on a larger space for material recovery.
Numerous measures have been initiated by the corporation to minimize generation of solid waste. As there is a ban on selling disposable thermocol or aluminium plates, it is mandatory for all street food vendors to use environment-friendly alternatives such as steel or leaf plates. Another innovative initiative of the CCP is the Waste Wise campaign, wherein students across the city bring dry waste to their schools and earn stamps, which get exchanged for exciting prizes.
We are investing in these kids so that they, when they grow with this message of segregation. They grow with this message of zero waste, and they're proud of a city which is landfill-free.
Panaji has showcased one of the finest examples of solid waste management. It has proved how a progressive vision under strong leadership can go a long way in transforming Indian cities.